back for our second segment with St. Cloud State men's basketball coach Quincy Henderson. The Huskies went 2-0 this week, and they are 5-0 in the Northern Sun.
Anytime you come out of the week with 2 wins, you got to feel pretty good about that. And I thought we played some pretty good basketball over those 2 games, Augustana and Wayne State. So, yeah, happy again with where we're at, and just want to keep pushing this thing out and getting better.
Well, let's start with Thursday. A back-and-forth game for most of the first half, a bunch of lead changes in that first half. Both teams kind of trading momentum. They got a little bit of a lead there in the second half, and then you guys were able to kind of take advantage of a 17-0 run that sparked the victory. What did you see coming out of halftime that you felt like you guys were in a good spot to make a run?
Yeah, Augustana is a good team. I think they've got a really good roster. Obviously, point guard and Cameron Ferguson is one of the best, certainly in the league, and they've got 2 guys in the perimeter, and Teslaw and Wrench, who have been really good in the league, certainly scoring the basketball. And then you got a shooting 5, which is always tough to guard, and a really good 4-man in Freed, who rebounds the ball. He had a big night against us. I wish we could have done a better job there, but we knew it was going to be a dogfight, and the margins a lot of times are pretty small when you're playing good teams. And the physicality piece, it's I always tell the guys, I don't care how it's called as long as it's consistent. So if it's going to be a tight game, it's tight, fine. Let's adjust. If it's going to be physical, we can adjust to that. And I thought we adjusted. There were only, I think, 6 fouls total called going into maybe the final 3 minutes. And it was body on body. I mean, really, really tough, gritty hoops. And one of the fans afterwards said it reminded me of the old NCC days, watching one of those basketball games. So proud of the guys that we held up to it. We were ready for it, and obviously came out with the victory.
Well, you hold Ferguson to 9 points on 4 of 16 shooting. He was 0 for 7 from 3. He did fill it up a little bit with the assists. He had 10 assists. But what did you like about the way you guys kind of corralled him defensively?
Yeah, we knew we had to contain him. He's kind of the juggernaut for him. He's their leading scorer. He's one of the top scorers in the league. So they run so much through him, and his usage is really high. So we were going to have to be good on him if we were going to win that game. And we put different guys on him, and I thought they did a really good job at staying in front and maybe forcing him into some tougher shots through the course of the night. He's still talented. He got other guys involved with assists, but we knew if we could keep his scoring numbers down, we were going to have a pretty good chance.
Well, and you were able to basically negate Teslaw. I mean, he didn't score in the game, was in some foul trouble in the first half, but did not score. You mentioned that Freed kind of got going. He had 20, Hinker had 18, but overall, I mean, to hold that team to 61 points overall is a pretty good defensive performance.
They came into that game, they were 5-3, and in the 5 games they won, they had scored over 90 points. So we knew we couldn't give them 90 and expect to come out with the win. So the guys really committed to the defensive plan, and my assistants do just a phenomenal job of preparation with these guys and getting them ready for personnel and motions and actions. So really a credit to them of consistently having our guys prepared night in, night out to get into it defensively and be on the same page and know what we're doing.
What did you take away from the game offensively on Thursday night? 39 3-pointers, your season high in attempts from beyond the arc. What stuck out for you offensively?
Well, they're a team that really packs it in and protects, and there's a lot of contact at the rim. So on some level, you're probably going to have to make some shots from the perimeter. We were going to have those. We knew that we were going to have some looks. So, we made some, missed some. You just kind of got to live with that. And obviously, I always talk about your defense has to hold, and then your offense has got to kick in something. So, yeah, games differ, right? Some teams take away perimeter. Some teams are really interior based. And it was really maybe a tale of 2 games with Wayne, who really took away perimeter, and Augie, who really took in, 15 feet in. And so, yeah, we'll take what's given, and guys just have to be ready to shoot and make those shots.
Yeah, Nish knocks down 4 of them. Luke hitting 3. We've talked about how important it is to have Anish make some shots. I mean, you guys are the numbers don't lie. You guys are 10-1 when he makes multiple 3-pointers. I mean, that's a big boost to your offense when he's hitting those shots.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's certainly one of our best shooters, and we want him taking those shots. And no pressure on him. All he's got to make shots for us to win. Our defense is doing some good things, and there's a lot of other guys that certainly have important roles on the team. But yeah, when he plays well into his ability, we're without question we're a lot better team.
Well, then Saturday, 93-69 win over Wayne State, a game that again was pretty physical. I thought the first half both teams were getting up and down the floor. We were expecting maybe a little bit more of a defensive battle in that one, but the offenses kind of came to play in the first half, and then you guys, I thought, were tremendous on defense in the second half. What did you take away from Saturday?
Yeah, no, I just said after the game that at the first half defensively we weren't dialed in, and I don't think we were playing disciplined basketball. And I think that just led to A, putting them on the free throw line, and B, letting them get to the rim and score on us. So I thought the guys did a good job of adjusting in the second and taking away some of the things that were hurting us in that first. And then our offense really kicked in the second. Some shots started going in. We had some great takes to the bucket from Luke to Anish to Isaiah had a couple great ones and some one-on-ones. So yeah, happy. I the first half, I thought second half we played really to our ability, and the results showed that.
When the defense isn't maybe up to the spot you wanted to in the first half, I mean, it's nice to come out of the half with 45 points that your offense, was picking up the slack a little bit.
Yeah, without question it was. And Wayne's a good defensive team. I mean, they really put a lot of pressure on you. They try and force you out to, 25, 30 feet on some of your catches. So if you don't meet the ball, you're going to get in some trouble there. And, I thought we had some turnovers even in that half where offense was actually doing pretty well that you'd like to take away. No, we shot a high percentage, but we had zero, offensive rebounds out of the first half. Second half, we wound up with 8 offensive rebounds. And again, that's a bit of who we are and certainly what I want to see on the stat sheet after game. So I was pleased that guys really committed to going after that thing in the second.
I thought, and we talked about it last week, but I thought on Saturday, I thought Isaiah was incredible. I mean, the ability that he has to put his foot in the ground and explode to the rim, I mean, it is incredible. And we saw that a couple of times on Saturday.
Yeah, he found himself in a lot of one-on-ones, just given that's the way they play when they really deny and they stretch the floor a bit. So he's really good in one-on-ones. I think he showed that. I occasionally work out at the YMCA, and I see him down in the gym and one-on-one playing 21 with guys is pretty elite. I mean, he loves that. He thrives in that. And so he had opportunities that, those opportunities didn't really present themselves in the Thursday game, but kind of expected that we'd see that in the Saturday game. And he was ready to take advantage, and he had some great takes to the rim, some explosion, finishing up through and over guys. So I was really pleased to see that and happy for him that he got those opportunities and then capitalized on them.
They will head to Sioux Falls on Thursday. They will head to Marshall on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not making the trip to Sioux Falls. I will be there on Saturday, though, for the game in Marshall. But let's start with the Cougars. They're a team that got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Augustana in that double overtime game last week. We know Chris Johnson's a tremendous coach. They're going to get things headed in the right direction. What have you seen when you watch the Cougars right now?
Yeah, they're playing pretty young. They've got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. They've got some really talented guard play. They're not terribly big inside, but they can certainly spread you out, which poses its own challenges. And you're right. I think Chris Johnson's a great coach, and he'll have those guys going. I know he's a little bit frustrated with where they're at, but like any team, a young team, you just kind of see a progression through the course of the year, and they start playing better. And they played some good teams and certainly been right there. Augustana and Double OT, they missed some free throws late, and that was the difference of that one. I think they played, Southwest to 7 or 8 points. They played Grand Valley State, who's playing really well. to a few points at their place. So it's always a tough place to play up there. But we're going to have to defend that 3 point line. They've got some certainly guys that can get it going, and Tally and the Brogan Madsen kid, who is a freshman this year, who's highly recruited in the NSIC. He's going to be very good, and I think he's still figuring some things out. But yeah, a little bit different. It'll be more of a perimeter attack, less inside, and you're going to have to be a lot of containment and certainly containing in transition, which is where they're at their best.
Well, and you guys have, I mean, historically played some good games with them as of late. I mean, well, that's just the way it is in the league right now. I mean, realistically, right? I mean, everybody's playing tight games. You go to Marshall on Saturday, a team that was picked to win the league. They are, obviously very deep. We know how good Jacob Broughton and Aaron Stevens are, but this is a team that is sort of like you guys and brings a lot back from last year.
Yeah, I think they've got almost everybody back but one from a season ago, and obviously had a really good year last year, as tying for first with Concordia in the league. They just beat Concordia the other night at their place. Concordia is a good team. You can see they've settled in now. They're playing good basketball. You knew that was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. I was hoping it'd be after this week, possibly, but we're not going to be that lucky. It'll be a dogfight down there. It's always tough to play in Marshall, and Coach Bigelow will have those guys ready to go. And we know it's always a physical game with them. You want to talk about box outs and holding ground and not getting backed in by Stevens and some of the other bigs. So we're going to have to hold up, and hopefully we're up to the challenge going into the break. It's after that game, it'll effectively be a third of our conference season behind us at that point. And I always look at, you get to Christmas break, that's kind of the first part of the season. You kind of get a chance to breathe after that, regroup, and then get ready for the second half. So we want to finish out the way that we're capable of.
Well, guard play wins in this league, and Jacob Broughton's one of the best in the NSIC at doing all sorts of things. I mean, he affects the game in a lot of different ways. What kind of things you got to do to make sure you can, keep the ball out of his hands and keep him from being too much of an impact?
Yeah, I don't know if he can keep the ball out of his hands necessarily, because he plays such a prominent role and he really just dictates a lot of what they do offensively. We're going to have to contain him. He's tough because he's strong. He's pretty low to the ground and he plays at pace. He's a smart player. He takes care of that thing. So we've got to stay in front of him, and then we've got to be smart off ball, because he can pick you apart if you make mistakes. And they're a team that'll punish you if you screw up. So it's going to be a very disciplined game for us if we're going to have a chance to get the win down there. And we've been playing relatively disciplined here through the last few weeks, so hopefully that carries over.
Well, I talk about guard play from Southwest, but we haven't probably done our due diligence talking about what Luke Winkle has meant to your team so far this year. I mean, he misses the game at Mankato, comes back and just is, on an absolute tear right now, averaging over 20 a game, had 27, had a career high 29 against CSP. What is going well? I mean, what is working? What are you enjoying about watching Luke Winkle right now?
Yeah, I think what's going well is just reps. He's a guy who lives in the gym. He loves it. He's competitive. I mean, you got to kind of get him out of the gym sometimes because you think he's overdoing it. So there's not some special sauce or or anything different going on. It's just a guy who works incredibly hard, who loves the game, loves to win, and is fully committed to it. And he's playing at a high level because of that. You see the confidence level with him right now. I think he started out relatively slow shooting the ball. Again, we knew he was a lot better shooter than probably what he was through the first 2 weeks. And now, he's used the term water finds its level. And I think it's found its level, and he's been shooting at a pretty high clip. So, coming out of Wayne, where he had 11 assists, I thought that was phenomenal for him to certainly show that piece. And he's, again, such a big part of what we're doing and how we approach things here. So I'm happy with where he's at and what he's doing.
It seems like a group that doesn't care if they score or someone else scores, or they just, it seems like everybody's bought into that same goal, and it ends with W's.
Yeah, and again, we're still relatively early in the season, but that's what you want out of your program, and you've got to keep that alive. You can't let the selfish mentalities creep in at any point. It's all going to be a team effort moving forward for us. So we do that. Yeah, I like our squad. I like where we're at, and I like where we're headed and what we can accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of basketball yet to be played, but certainly in a very good spot here heading into the final week before the Christmas holiday. Coach, I appreciate the time. We'll see you Saturday in Marshall.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steve.